fears are good. You're learning from your fears. If you're failing, you're learning and you're growing.
Hi, I'm Maud Leger, and this is the Realtors Conspiracy Podcast, where we crack the code to real estate success. Learn from top realtors, entrepreneurs, and innovators about how to grow your business as we discuss real estate success stories, mindset, processes, motivations, and the key to their success. Check out our podcast episodes every Monday to crack the code to success for your real estate business. This week, I'm speaking with Vanessa Papania from eXp. Vanessa is a sponge for knowledge and growth. She believes in putting in the time and effort to learn, as well as getting support to stay on top of her game and grow her business. A huge part of her real estate business is based on social media, promoting, educating clients on real estate, and supporting them. Let's get to my chat with Vanessa. Hi Vanessa, thanks for joining us on the episode today. Tell us, what is the key to your success?
Thank you for having me. First of all, I'm really excited to be here. Not to say that I think that I've, gotten the whole success thing figured out, but I'll talk about, what works for me or what I've found success in the most.
Yes.
I think first and foremost, the biggest thing is just the people who you surround yourself with. I think it's important to be a part of a team where, with people who motivate you and they kind of hold you accountable to be at the top of your game. Yeah. I think that's, the most important thing. And then obviously the other thing too is like just being organized. I think that sets you up for success. With me, I plan out my day like the night before kind of thing, make sure that everything is like super structured and, time blocked and stuff like that. We're busy, like we're, millennials, like it's tough to kind of stay focused on one thing. So I think that would be what I would say is being the most important to success.
Organize and the support. What kind of accountability does your team put on you? Like, how do they keep you accountable to achieve your goals?
So my team at eXp is amazing. They hold weekly mastermind calls. There's like 4 or 5 calls a week. They're not mandatory, but any agent who, wants to get more information or wants to just kind of like kill it in the industry, these calls are amazing because they just provide so much knowledge and so much leadership. They hold like challenges as well for people who kind of like want to, fitness challenges and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like a way to get connected to other people who are like-minded. And then, people who are just killing it in the industry, they automatically like push you to do better and to, like I said, hold you accountable. So I found, a lot of help with that for sure.
Yeah. And then you talked about organization and time blocking. What kind of processes did you put in place for your business to make sure you were successful, organized, and working every day?
I'll tell you my like favorite tool ever. I don't know if you know who Andy Frisella is.
Yes.
But, oh, perfect. So I don't know if you know about the power list. He comes up with this, this whole tool. It's called the power list. And essentially it's just a list of like 5 critical tasks that you want to get done for, the day or the next day or whatever. If the list is, too long, then your, mental sharpness and everything like that kind of goes down. So it's a list of 5 things that I put on the night before. And then every item that you complete for that day, it's a win. So not only does it help me to kind of like stay organized and stay on top of what I'm doing, but it also helps to kind of like build confidence, which I think is so crucial in this industry and just in any industry where you have to kind of like be your own boss, especially as women. Like I find it's like so challenging. It's always been a challenge for me to just be confident in what I'm doing and like, oh my God, like, should I not be posting this? Should I not be doing that? Like, it's important to kind of be self-aware and not worry so much about that. So I think that's the key to staying organized for me. And then, that's just, I use an agenda. Like I'm like old school. I still write everything out. Like I don't use the iPhone calendar. Like I write it all out every day. And so that kind of helps me as well. Just like separate my day into.
Yeah. What kind of key priorities do you put in your day that are like, for sure, you have to do it, it's important, it helps you in your business?
Exercise for sure is the first thing. without, like working out. I find that my productivity goes down so much. So definitely just time to kind of clear my head and just be active. Um, Social media is huge too. Like I get most of my business through social media. So it's important for me to take time every day to just, stay on top of there, whether it's just posting or like connecting with people on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it may be. Um, yeah, those are the goals for the day. And then obviously, emails and reaching out to clients and stuff like that.
Yeah, nice. Keeping in touch, all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of maintaining those relationships and following up with clients and making sure that everybody is happy and doing well.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of clients, how do you get more deals? How do you close more deals? How do you keep running and growing your business?
It's hard. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Real estate, it's not, being your own boss, it's not for everybody. Like it's a constant grind. And so I don't door knock, I don't cold call. Like obviously nothing against people who do. I think it's the most like admirable thing in the world. For me, I feel like I can reach more people on social media.
Yeah.
And so I kind of prioritize just doing that. Like I said, just kind of being vulnerable and relatable when it comes to social media and just posting things that are like, not just real estate related, but just kind of related to all aspects of my life.
Who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So that people can kind of like relate to it. And I think that's what helps people to build trust. And I think that's what keeps my business going.
Yeah, that's amazing. You've been an agent for a year. What's the best advice you received from joining EXP or your team so far in your business?
I've had like so much, I don't even know. Like there's obviously like so many tidbits of information that we get at the weekly calls. Yeah, I think like it's more just a matter of, how to stay productive, how to stay on top of your game. It's kind of just like information like that it's the gift that keeps on giving. Like it never stops.
True. What kind of activities other than social media would you put to stay on top of your game, like you said?
I think that it's important for people to figure out what works for them.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to kind of try everything, find, for me, like the biggest thing is finding the problem that you solve. So like what service are you providing and how can you help people the most? I think that's like, the question that if you're providing a service or if you're providing a product or anything like that, it's so important to kind of have that and hone in on it and really just have that answer laid out, because once you've gotten that figured out, people can see it and people can feel it. And like, no one's going to hire somebody or buy a product that they don't see value in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I kind of like went off on a tangent there. I don't even remember the question, but
Trust and how, yeah, no, I think you got it. Like that's cool. How do you invest in yourself, I guess, in that way to make sure you're providing the best service or being there for your clients? And
yeah, I love that question because I think that it's so important to like never stop learning and growing. I think that's a huge part of, any entrepreneur's life. And so for me, it mostly comes down to, online training. So EXP offers a ton of training online, which is so convenient. You can just click on like whatever hour of the day you want to do a training session and
it's there.
do it. Yeah, exactly. Podcasts as well are huge for me. And, books. I love to read as well. So
Nice.
anytime that I can be learning, I'm all for it.
Yeah, learning and growing.
Yeah.
What would be your best advice to new realtors starting real estate right now, since you've been through it?
I think the first thing that I would say is get on social media and learn how to leverage that. As annoying and, it's like a job in itself, but as annoying as it is, like just post as much as you can just to stay on top of everybody's minds. I would say to prioritize client follow-ups and more so just maintaining those relationships. I mentioned this earlier, but like to me, it's not so much about, finding new clients. It's more about maintaining relationships with my current clients and making sure that I've, helped them to the best of my abilities, and there's nothing else that they would say that's, negative or anything like that. Yeah, I think it just buying a home is like the most stressful time in somebody's life, right? Like it's not easy. Like we've all, we've been through it, and it's a challenge. So I think just being able to, or just learning how to be somebody's, support system and therapist, and just kind of being that calm, yeah, like that sense of calm for somebody in that stressful situation is where I would start.
Yes, it's super demanding. It's super stressful. It's like we said, 24/7. How do you
Mhm.
keep a balance in your life within all that?
Something that I have been like prioritizing this year, I would say, is just kind of being more present, or trying to be more present. So obviously, it's like we all struggle with it, we're overstimulated. Our generation is like crazy for being so busy and just always having something on the go. So I think it's important to be realistic with
Mhm.
yourself. So for me, like, I think it's important to know how many clients you can take on at a time. If I can't handle more than, 4 clients at a time, then it's a matter of, having that conversation with the fifth client or whatever it may be. And I think also just, spending time at the end of the night, whether it be, 1 hour or whatever it is, just without phones, and just kind of connecting with people that you love, or just with yourself. Um, I think that's huge too.
Yeah, this is huge. This is great advice. Everybody needs that.
Thanks. I don't like, not that I figured it all out, but that's what works for me at least.
Practice, practice, and learning and
Yeah.
growing. Like you said, like
Yeah.
being a sponge for knowledge is cool.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all what it comes down to, is just, wanting to be constantly growing. I think that's the key.
Yeah. What would be the one quality that you have that helps you constantly grow?
I haven't always had this. I think this is something that I've also like been working on a lot recently, but just being willing to fail. Because, before, like, I wanted to get into real estate when I was like 16, and I waited until I was like, almost 30 to do it, because it's like, oh, it's scary, and, you have to like, make, your own income and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if it's for me. And it's just this constant cycle of like talking yourself out of it. And so I think when COVID hit, I was able to just, take a real deep look at myself and just say, you know, fears are good. You're learning from your fears. If you're failing, you're learning and you're growing. Whereas if you're not failing, you're not really learning anything. So I think, yeah, just having those experiences, working with clients, figuring out what works for you, what doesn't work for you,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's it. That's all you really can do, right?
love it. So much learning into that, learning into
Yeah.
fears, your challenges.
Mhm.
Yeah, growing.
Yeah, I think that's the secret to life, not just, real estate. So
I love it. What's exciting for you in the industry coming up? Where do you see yourself grow this coming year and all of it?
I think that, I'm just getting started. And so this industry is just so exciting, because there really is no top, like there's no limit, there's no ceiling,
It's you.
which is why it's just such a cool place to be. And so, yeah, I love it. Right now I'm working on a women's support group, basically. So it's going to be starting on Facebook. And there's going to be, weekly calls and stuff like that, just to kind of help women in the industry, because that's kind of where my heart lies.
Yeah, helping each other.
Yeah, just being a support system. I think that's the most important thing to me. And then obviously just continuing to, grow and build my team as well at EXP. Yeah, it's exciting times.
Very fun, very cool. Where do we find you on social media? What are your handles?
My handle is Vanessa Papania Real Estate. So my first and my last name, Real Estate, basically everywhere.
Awesome. We'll share that. Well, thank you so much for all this great advice. Super helpful for new realtors or any realtor really struggling or wanting to grow really themselves.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I had such a great time.
Thanks for joining. If you know anyone who could benefit from this episode, please click and share it with them.